What's up, Skirt Sub Squad?
Did you just take my line? It's Samantha.
And Melissa.
I'm going to actually tell you guys how it is right now. It was so funny.
We couldn't even make it up. I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear it in public.
And she looks at me and she goes, that's what Jesus is for.
We are about normalizing things that are hard to talk about.
So I was like, deer in headlights, skirts out. But keep your panties on. Hey guys, it's Samantha.
And Melissa. And we are recording on Sam's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I will just let you guys know in case you hear a little giggle box. I got Nora on my lap. We'll see if she decides to say hello. But so if you hear anything, that is her rocking away on me, and she's laughing.
She is. She's smiling.
Little goofball. She didn't want to talk today. But anyways, I opened Sweet Soul today.
That's actually huge.
Yeah, thank you. So a lot of this morning has been getting my client practitioner agreement forms sent out to all the people that were on the wait list. So
nice.
Big step.
Very cool. Have you had any, well, I guess you haven't had any meetings yet with anybody, but they're coming.
Yeah, I had some what do you call it? Like a discovery call with a couple of them already, which, Miss Ma'am, I haven't seen you sign up yet.
Okay, here I come. I'm signing up.
I will be following up today if I do not get a request.
Okay, you're going to get one.
It's my birthday. Yes, I will.
That's right. Yes, you get what you want.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course.
What's going on with you?
Oh, not much. It's the new year. I signed up for health insurance. It's freaking expensive.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It kind of like in the interim. So like I had signed up and I knew it was going to start January 1st and I got really, really sick like in the end of December.
Mm.
And so I went to get my medicine, the Tamiflu, and at the pharmacy. Yeah, thank you. At the pharmacy, they were like, so your insurance is going to cover it. It's only going to be like $2 or something. And I was like, wait, I thought it was supposed to be like 50 or 60. And he's like, oh, I was like, wait, I don't have insurance. And he's like, oh. And so basically I'd never been taken off of breads. He never took me off.
Oh, shit.
And I know. And so he went and talked to one of the other people and he's like, yeah, we could leave you on, but they'll probably bill you later. And I was like, yeah, and I don't want to do anything illegal. Like I shouldn't be on his insurance still. So I went ahead and just paid for the Tamiflu.
Oh.
But now I have insurance.
You're so honest about everything all the time.
I was like, well, I mean, I don't want to do anything illegal.
I know. I feel like that's not illegal though. He willingly, knowingly put you on his insurance. Yeah. And if he didn't take you off even after divorce, that's on him. That's not illegal to do.
Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, that was what happened. I guess but yeah, so I have insurance now. It's just really expensive. It is crazy. And it's like, well, maybe I need to start going to the doctor because I've never been one that really goes to the doctor that much.
Me either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have insurance either. I actually think that insurance costs way more than what you ever use. So we don't do insurance and all my medications, like I get my medications every 3 months, like in 3 months supplies, and Publix gives me this like discount and I only pay like $30 for all of my medications.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. I don't know how that is, but it's just another reason why I think insurance is more than it's worth. But that's just my opinion.
No, it can totally be a scam. It's just that I'm feeling like I'm getting to this age where I need to kind of go to the doctor and just kind of like see what's going on with hormones and stuff like that. And it's like,
this is your self-care year. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. You're right. And so it's kind of like, okay, let's figure out what's going on. And
that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
yeah, here we
Yeah.
are.
Here we are. And you know, I told you that I had like a fail about plants, but actually I just now that we're talking about doctors, I have a really funny one
Oh,
that
let's
happened a
hear
couple
it.
days ago. So on Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Simon and I went to go do some lab works. And on Christmas, we got Simon's panel back and I saw, because I was the one reading it, that his CBC, or not his CBC, sorry,
White blood cells.
his white blood cell count was high. And I was freaking out. And so 2 days after Christmas, I'm calling around trying to get him an appointment somewhere. And someone's able to get him in. And we went on Thursday to the doctor's. And I went with him. And Simon's like, I'm just going to let you talk because you're the one that's like, freaking out about this. And I was like, for a reason, the white blood cell count is high and that's really odd. And you have like a long history of cancer in your family. So yeah, we're here. And so I'm talking to the doctor and the doctor goes, can I see the lab results? And so Simon hands him his phone to show him the lab results. And the doctor goes, can you show me what you're looking at? And,
Yeah.
and so I show him and he was like, that's on the urinalysis. And I was like,
Okay.
oh my God. And so I
So it wasn't
remember,
even blood cells,
no,
or what was it?
it wasn't. It was just like a few like white blood cell like in the
In
urine.
his urine.
Yeah. And so very dumb of me, I misread the labs and I was cracking up because I was like, man, I remember looking at the CBC and being like, that's normal. The red blood cell count is normal. How can I'm just really confused if the CBC is normal, what I'm looking at. And so, yeah, the doctor and I were like going over it and I was like, I'm an idiot. And I was like, well, you're
Oh,
healthy. So all of that. And I mean, his doctor
you were
visit,
worried too.
I was. So $200 later and a 5-minute doctor's appointment. He is healthy. And all because I freaked out and didn't fully look at
That's
lab
okay.
work.
Oops. Well, that's okay. You're not a doctor. So, like, it's not like you can be hard on yourself.
I know. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Simon was like, you were ridiculous. And I was like, I don't know how I missed that. I don't know how I
Oops.
missed that. But you're healthy. Yay. And then the doctor did like redo his urine and that came in the next day. And for some reason, I got the lab results. And so I text Simon, I was like, guess what? And he goes, what? And I go, your urine is healthy. Congratulations. Let's celebrate today. So we celebrated.
Some clean urine.
Clean
Yay.
urine.
Woo.
But yep.
That's awesome. Well, what have we today?
Have you ever heard elevator pitch? I actually have never seen it before.
I'd never seen it. I mean, like, I know what an elevator pitch is. I just didn't realize they'd made a show about it.
Right. So today we have the creator of Fuzzy, and we are so excited for you guys to meet her. I'm excited for you guys to learn about Fuzzy and really her story because it's just really relatable in all the ways.
And very inspiring.
Today we're here with Kalie Nitzsche, and she is the host of her own podcast called Looking Out, and she's also the creator of a identity verification company called Fuzzy.
That's right. Thank you so much for having me today, Sam and Melissa. Excited to be on your show and be a guest.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. So, I'm going to actually ask you to repeat for the audience what you were just telling us. When you hear identification, what did you call it? Verification company?
Yeah, because I originally had said cybersecurity, and then I was like, wait a second. I think that there's like a negative thing around that. Then you were explaining kind of the difference.
Yeah, it's not like I'm afraid of the word or there's a negative connotation. It's just, I feel like people's gut reaction when they hear the word cybersecurity automatically makes you think of something with the government or NASA or, that's extremely complex and
Most top secret. Like you have to have top secret things to be protecting, but
totally. And like, it's almost hard to understand because we're not in that space. But Fuzzy is a really easy, affordable way to stay safer online. At its core, that's what we're trying to do, both from a peer-to-peer identity verification perspective. And then I've also created what's called Fuzzy Watchdog, which is our B2B solution, really concentrating on monitoring and alerting misuse of one's name, image, and likeness. So
Oh.
yeah. So like, are you being impersonated on Instagram, or was this GoFundMe put up in your name and this isn't you? And this is a huge problem.
Is that
when
a
we start-
thing?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. And it's really bad if you think about it, like with celebrities and influencers, major league sports players, and these are all kind of my B2B customers. And it was really clear really fast that I need to create fuzzy watchdog for the everyday person. So I'm really excited that at the beginning of the year, we'll be rolling out fuzzy watchdog for end users, myself, for you guys, for our children.
Oh.
You know, I have a 7-year-old daughter. I want to make sure, and I want to know if she ends up on some creepy website or her face is being used in an AI, disgusting way that I don't
Absolutely.
know as a parent. So like, we're going to be
Right.
able to bring that to fruition and provide the intelligence that we don't have today when we all need. So excited to finally start getting fuzzy out there. It's been a labor of love, and it certainly came from a crazy personal story, but it's really fueled my mission, and it's such a passion of mine.
That's
We
amazing.
we definitely want to hear the personal story, but I didn't ask you in our first conversation, and I'm just really curious, where did the name Fuzzy come from?
Yeah, so I wanted something super just like easy to remember that didn't necessarily make you feel a certain way. And what's fuzzy needs more information. And that's exactly what we're providing, because when we start to think about connections or interactions online, I'm all about the fact that they can be beautiful. There are people that meet on dating apps that end up getting married, and that's amazing. Or interviews are online and that person ends up getting a job. So relationships can be beautiful with more information, but also at the same time, if we start to really understand who somebody is and are they who they claim to be, unfortunately, we can see the negative effects of that. And is this person a registered sex offender, or portraying to be somebody that they're not? So fuzzy is just a very bland way of providing more information. And it's also kind of like tongue in cheek, because in the tech world, if results come back fuzzy, that's like an actual tech speak. And I've been in the big tech world for over a decade now. So it's just kind of all encompassing. And
That makes
lo and
sense.
behold, I ended up buying the word. So fuzzy is my word.
Nice.
Yes.
I wanted to kind of just point out, like, I know we're going to talk a lot about the end user side of things that you're about to launch, which is amazing. But I just, before we move on, I wanted to just kind of say thank you as far as like I didn't realize that it was like a business to business one. Like, that's pretty cool, because especially like being like, I'm a business owner, I own a quilt shop. And a lot of times, especially in the art world, you get people taking your art or taking the things that you've created and you've made and then passing it off as their own. And so that's actually really interesting that we do have like a safe and affordable way to monitor that.
Thank you. Yeah, fuzzy is all about authenticity and protecting what's yours, whether that's from an identity perspective, and then like from a visionary side that I'm looking at, like what does 26, 27 look like? How do we start protecting some of our content? Right.
Yes.
So how do people make sure that you, Melissa, actually put so much time and effort into this beautiful quilt, rather than like getting it fraudulated, or
Yeah.
I don't know, like a lot of scams that happen in the quilt world, but I'm sure as an artist you see it, and we want to be able to protect that for you as well.
Yeah. That's amazing. Thank
That's
you.
cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's the business side of it. And what once started as a very consumer centric product, with the application, I realized quickly that there is so much fraud that goes on the internet. And it's not just about
Yes.
identity verification, but it's also about protecting our own identity online. Because, the more advanced we get with tech, it leads to amazing things and modern day conveniences. We've got Uber and DoorDash and Thumbtack and all these awesome things that are just like so readily available, but we have no safeguards or anything that we're doing to protect ourselves. So
It's
it was
kind of amazing that
It's
We're just like
amazing. And
floating through life this exposed.
Don't get in a stranger's car ever.
Oh,
Exactly.
hi Uber.
Or don't let anybody into your car that you don't know. Hey, come on in, random passenger.
Mm-hmm.
So we've all just accepted the modern day conveniences of technology while not mandating better standards or policies for safety. And that's really what Fuzzy aims to do. It's like, say, hey, tech is cool, but we all need to be doing this new kind of universal modernization of how we're looking at safety online,
Yeah.
because the statistics and the data are scary. And if I can help one person not be a part of that scam, system, then I feel like I've done my job. So excited to
Yeah.
get Fuzzy in the hands for pretty much everybody.
What did you do before? Are you an entrepreneur like at heart or?
I'm not. No, I am definitely corporate America through and through. I started my career in medical sales. I worked in an advertising agency. I was at Adobe for over 6 years working in enterprise sales for largest healthcare customers at Adobe. So I've been in the tech world pretty much my whole career. And when I had my light bulb moment, I had to balance starting Fuzzy alongside being a single mom, alongside working a very demanding corporate America job at Adobe. And I did that in tandem for about 15 months until finally I was like, it's time for me to go all in on Fuzzy. And it was hard. I mean,
That's scary.
it was really scary. It was a cushy job. It was demanding and hard, but it certainly, I didn't have to worry about my mortgage or benefits, et cetera. And I was finally stepping away from that kind of just sense of security and going into the unknown that is the entrepreneurial world. And it was terrifying, but honestly, I would do it all over again and then some, because it's the best decision I've ever made for myself.
Awesome.
Okay, so what you just said, you had security and you were still like willing to bet on yourself with this product, and just with that intention of it can't fail. Like, what pushed you to really believe in yourself and be like, this is what I'm doing. I'm investing in myself.
Yeah, I mean, it was two main things. So, I mean, I'll be very candid. All of the things I mentioned, it was extremely taxing, like on my mental health and on my physical health. I ended up in the hospital for some heart problems. I'm not old enough to have heart problems. So essentially the cardiologist was like, something's got to give here. And I realized I needed to put a real plan in place with my exit to get out of corporate America. And how am I going to make being this founder and CEO of Fuzzy like my full-time job? And, I needed to put together a strategy with how that exit looked like. And then also with Fuzzy, I've had a ton of amazing opportunities to be forward facing with press. And we were launching at South by Southwest. I was a panelist at Inc. Founders House. So just from a pure, you can't be doing both perspective, I knew that would be basically my final date. Was like, okay, right before I went to South by Southwest as the founder CEO of Fuzzy, I needed to resign at Adobe. And so I did it in a way that was really kosher. I left in really great standing with all of my coworkers. They often are cheering me on from the sidelines. And it's really, really amazing to like have their love and support, because I think they understand, wow, she really took a jump off of a cliff. And the summer wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I went 7 months without $1 going into any of my bank accounts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so it was just like, whoa, Elle, my daughter, you need to sit down. Mom was going to teach you the word budget.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to learn about Facebook Marketplace.
Nope.
Valuable lessons here.
Yes, absolutely.
How long after deciding to go all in and focus on Fuzzy did you end up on elevator pitch?
So I left in March in Adobe. So I was full-time starting March of this year. And Entrepreneur approached me to start interviewing for being a possible candidate on their season 13 show of Elevator Pitch. In about, I guess it was in August, I took my first interview, and there was just a series of meet this producer, talk to this person. And I just kind of kept making my way through the through the different iterations of interviews, and I finally was chosen as one of the cast members for season 13. I filmed in mid-September, and my episode will be airing on December 10th.
Oh, congratulations.
I
It hasn't
know.
aired yet. Okay.
No, it has not. So, spoiler alert, I ended up making it through. I don't know if actually when will this air? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
It won't air until next year.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I ended up making it through the elevator. That I got called into the boardroom, and I ended up making a deal with one of the investors, which was super,
Awesome.
like, just an amazing moment. And I don't know if I could ever do it again. It was literally, it took every fiber in my being not to like have a panic attack, but it was really cool.
So I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I do want to ask a couple questions about
Sure.
that. So you're going through all of these interviews and stuff, and I guess it just kind of entered my mind, like, I guess you're not just jumping in an elevator giving a pitch to somebody who's never heard it. They know who you are because you've had all these interviews.
No, they didn't know who I was. I
Oh,
mean,
so they do set it up.
yeah, so it was just like 3 investors that, hadn't heard of the Fuzzy brand. South by Southwest was
Okay.
completely like a separate, it had no correlation or crossover at all.
Okay.
So I had 60 seconds to essentially pitch them on Fuzzy and Watchdog and myself, because at the end of the day, they're investing in me, right, as the
100%.
founder. And essentially they have 2 minutes to deliberate whether that me are worthy enough, or that you gave a good enough pitch to go to the boardroom to negotiate a deal and talk
Okay.
more about what you're building. And so those 2 minutes of waiting on whether I made it through or not probably were the longest 2 minutes of my life.
Wow.
And you have just like a camera in your face and all these lights, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But then they announced, entrepreneur, you've made it to the boardroom, or whatever they said. And yeah, soon after I was shuffled in and thrown in another room with like 3 people on like a stage looking down at me. Those were the investors.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
that's gotta feel so intimidating.
It was so intimidating. And I actually was so embarrassing because, first of all, they don't really give you like a timeline for the day. And I realized at the end of all of this why they don't do that, because they want you to shoot social and B-roll and all this stuff. And you're not going to want to do any of that if you don't actually strike a deal, right?
Got
So they
you.
want you to do all of that at the beginning, which they don't tell you at all. So like,
Yeah.
I missed lunch. I had a couple of waters here and there, but because we didn't really know the schedule, I couldn't prepare for it in a way that I normally would. So I was so freaking thirsty standing there in that boardroom. And I started to like get a list.
Oh
And
no.
because I had
Your
the
mouth was
first
drying out.
so dry mouth. Like I'm like trying to lick my lips and like get some moisture going on there. Nothing was happening. And I in my head was like, okay, either I'm on national television with essentially like a lisp / speech impediment, or I just asked for water. I don't know what the rules are, but I know I'm being filmed.
Yes.
And so finally I go, I'm really sorry, but I need some water. And everybody in the entire boardroom just started dying laughing.
Oh
Production was
my
like
God. I
keeled
love that.
over in stitches. They're like, we've never had anybody do this before. Just like basically stop and be like, I need some water. You
I'm
know?
sorry.
I love
dying
that.
here.
And then it helped me. Like I got like a minute to kind of like
Give you a
collect
second.
myself and obviously like wet my palate.
Yes.
Get a little water. Wasn't going to pass out from dehydration. And then like the next kind of half of it, I just went in and I was on my A game because I ended up securing a deal with one of the investors, which was amazing.
That
I
is
think
a
that's-
brilliant unintentional stall factor, like stall tactic.
Totally
feel-
unintentional.
I feel like it's a little bit like how we like to share our fails and stuff, because I feel like it made you relatable and it made it was your authentic self shining through.
I mean,
Right?
it was
And they all
literally
kind
the
of
most
laughed at
authentic
you
moment
with
Yeah.
you. And it
Because
kind of probably broke the ice.
And valuing
Totally broke
yourself
that.
in that moment.
Actually,
Well, there's that
yeah,
too.
100%. And like it made me feel I could take a deep breath. Like we're all in this. They're on a TV show too. Like
Yep.
I don't know. It just kind of really helped me like collect myself in a way that I absolutely needed like a 60-second break. But at the same time, I think I might be the only person on national TV history where I just pause my pitch and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I need water or else I'm going to pass out.
Water, no
hilarious.
deal.
Yeah, exactly. And so at the end, to the producer, I was like, please don't make me look silly. And he's like, literally, this is liquid gold. And I was like,
He's like, sorry, too bad. It's happening.
Oh my god.
No, but that's the thing. It's relatable more than silly for sure.
I could not pitch myself in 5 minutes, let alone 60 seconds.
it was a very rigorous like planning because once you get your 60-second pitch down, I mean, I didn't waste 1 second, like not even a breath. Like I knew I had everything memorized. And then by the time you get into the boardroom, you have another basically 3 minutes to continue talking about it. And then of course there's dialogue back and forth. But I don't think I could have done the entrepreneur elevator pitch maybe in January of this year. I wouldn't have been as prepared, but I had learned so much. And just because I was 100% wasn't working corporate America anymore, like this was my livelihood personally and professionally at this point. I just knew my talking points. And I'm really passionate about Fuzzy. And I think that they saw that and they're really excited to kind of get involved and jump in too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You said that you're passionate about Fuzzy. What led to that passion?
Here we go.
Here we go. Good stuff. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, so like I said, I've been in tech. I'm familiar with technology. I'm certainly not like coding or anything like that. So I can talk enough to be dangerous, but I certainly I'm not an engineer or anything like that. And unfortunately, to understand why I created Fuzzy, I always preface this, and even I was saying this to investors before I closed my round here in the fall. I said, you're going to get to know me really quickly because my story is extremely personal. But if I don't tell you, one, I'm doing myself a disservice and everybody else that this has happened to by not sharing that this happened to me. But now you're going to understand why I eat, breathe, and sleep and cry. And I'm so happy about all things Fuzzy because it's literally, I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else because it was a terrible situation.
Yeah.
So essentially, I've been divorced for 5 years. My daughter and I moved to the Chicago area, dedicated year one, just full on, lots of therapy, lots of you're important signage in my office, self-help, everything, which is what you need to do.
Right.
And I really felt year 2, year 3, I'm starting to get my sea legs being, by myself. And I wanted to meet somebody. And so I got on the dating apps, which is the freaking wild west of horror stories. And, when I was in my early 20s, when I met my ex-husband, that wasn't a thing. Guys were, approaching you at a bar or, meeting people in person, not online. So this whole notion of creating a profile and sharing things back and forth from an online interaction perspective was very new to me. And I was very, very, I'll say, I was just very novice and I didn't realize how many people were out there to scam people because I surely wasn't. This is my picture. This is what I look like. No, I'm not using it through an AI generator. Did I touch up my Botox before I took this picture? Yes, but I look like this, right?
Right.
So I'm putting my best foot forward, but I am who I am. And I was fine to say that. I didn't realize other people weren't doing that. And unfortunately, I met somebody that was just a complete and utter liar. And he lied about every single thing that basically a human being can lie to another human being about.
Did you met him in person eventually?
Oh, yeah. I met his family. I met his daughters. He met my daughter. This guy was such a fraudster.
How does that work?
I don't know. I don't even know what he told them. It's one of the things that bothers me the most when I look back at this whole situation is how the kids were manipulated in this. It's one thing for me at 30, I guess I was 36 at the time, to be tricked or frauded and scammed in that way. But to use kids as pawns to help his lies and help,
So gross.
It is so disgusting. And that's exactly what he did. So we had this meet the family after 6 or 7 months of dating in person. I mean, I saw this guy 2-3 times a week. And finally, we were going to do like a very casual, like, okay, it's time to meet each other's kids. I have no idea what he told those girls. There were 2 daughters. They were older than mine, which is even more disgusting. Mine was 5 at the time. So she had really, I mean, she didn't know what we were doing, right? But like his 8th grader, I don't know what he told her because she has a stepmom at home, you know? And so I don't know what the concocted lie for the kids was, but anything. It was just really gross. It came out that his name wasn't even his name.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he went by 2 initials on the dating apps, which is what I called him. And it turned out that that wasn't his name at all. No one called him that. He lied about his profession. He lied about taking and passing the bar exam. He never passed. He worked at this huge Fortune 500 company where that is like against the law to go out and say like you're a licensed attorney. He was not. So just and then obviously he was married. Not only was he married, but he had another girlfriend. So I was number 3 in this whole fiasco. Yeah. And I found out because my girlfriend is in the Are We Dating the Same Guy Chicago chapter. And Jess, who does not mind being talked about, we actually just did our own podcast show, episode number 2 together a couple weeks ago. She's become like my very dear friend. But she posted on that community group in Chicago. One of my other girlfriends saw he was posted and told me, hey, this is what happened. And sure enough, yeah, everything that he had told me and that we were essentially building our life for, which is such a joke because he would like send me housing listings for like,
my gosh.
Yeah, for like these beautiful homes that we should buy together. And of course, he's this huge attorney. So like every house is, gorgeous.
Of
and
course, what
multi-million dollars. Yeah. I mean, not even just that, but just like the love of like a huge family and all the kids would have their own bedroom. And like, we would just be this blended power couple with these awesome kids. And the whole thing was just a sham.
Whoa. It just occurred to me that like, not only are you like these are someone else's kids that you probably started to feel some sort of attachment to. Like we're going to have this blended family that is awesome and powerhouse.
Wow.
Absolutely. And it was like, sharing pictures of our kids every day. And like, this is, if he would have them for the weekend and he wasn't around or something, like here's videos of them. So it just was a very emotionally manipulative way to get me to fall for him because he knew like being a good father is number 1 on my list, right? If he, he would need to take my daughter in as his and be so kind and loving to her. And then I would do the same for his daughters. Of course, not replacing the mom, but being a really influential woman, figure in their lives. And that was really important to me. The whole thing is just so gross.
Wow. Yeah. He like really found out exactly all of the things that you were dreaming of and hoping for and just played on that. It's so gross.
What was the benefit for him though? Like what did he get out of it? Because this isn't like, usually when I hear the word scam, I'm thinking like they're doing something for money. Like there's money into it.
So it was leading down the money path. And I'm so lucky that we didn't end up buying the house together because what I think he was trying to do was that it was going to be like a bait and switch at the end. Like, hey, just put the house in your name, that kind of thing. But it was becoming clear that he was aware of my finances. And it just, it felt like we were growing together. Like this is the natural step, we're in our 30s. We're not going to just like date for 7 years. We both wanted more kids, or so he said he did. And so we're working for this long-term life together. And all of this nonsense came out about him. And so when I say I was scammed, it was more like in the catfish romance world. It wasn't until I started to really dive into online deception that I realized scams are all over the place in terms of how they happen, whether it's financially, romance, like what I experienced, impersonation, misuse of one's name, image, and likeness. I mean, it's a full gamut of how people are being frauded online. And so I kind of coined the term for all of those things. It bubbles up to what I'm calling online deception. And it's a huge freaking problem. I just read the most crazy statistic last week that Google predicts that in 2026, online scams, online financial fraud will account for $20 trillion next year. That is the third largest economy in the world next to the United States and China. So
whoa.
this is a mind-blowing stat with so much negativity and
You
lying.
literally just said 2026, right? You didn't say
Next year, 2026, $20 trillion. I can't even wrap my head around it.
me either.
I don't even know how to write that number. So
I literally, how many commas? Because it's unclear to me. Yeah, it's just, and at the root of it, I truly believe if we were to just start saying like, hey, can you prove you're right? Or can you just let me know that you are who you claim to be? It would mitigate so much of what's happening, because the way to fraud somebody is, to either say that you're somebody else, to, use someone like emotional standings, like for me, like was romance, but like elder abuse, and claiming that, the child is in jail and this is their voice. And with AI, both image, video, and voice, I mean, it's terrifying to know how good these scammers are getting at being able to dupe people. And what the attractiveness of online fraud is for all these, like, let's just call them shitbags, is because it's very hard to catch. And if they do get caught, there's likely no punishment. And if there is, it's really hard to prove.
Wow.
There's just no rules or regulations. Like, it is against the law for General Mills to falsely market a kid's cereal, but it is not against the law for these two letters of a human to falsely advertise themselves online.
Right. What happened? Sorry, did I interrupt you, Sam?
I think you're about to ask the same question.
Maybe. I was just gonna say, what happened that made your friend say, hey, let's put this guy on this other thing and see if somebody else is dating him. I don't trust him.
So at the time, she was not my friend. Jess, I didn't know Jess at all.
Oh.
So she was the second girlfriend. Like I said, I'm number 3.
Yeah.
And she found out he was married. So her post was telling everybody, hey, this guy is on all these.
You saw it.
My friend saw it. So not only did I find out that he had another girlfriend in the same post, but I found out that he had another girlfriend and a wife at the exact same time. And in about, I would say, 3 hours, the three of us were on a group chat. And that evening, Jess and I got onto a FaceTime, and he called me. He called me. I'm on FaceTime with Jeff. I screen grab it and I said, sorry, I'm busy. And from there, it was like very limited communication moving forward. And then he kept trying to be like, I'm a licensed attorney. And I was like, no, you're not. I called the Bar Association of Iowa because I just couldn't tell like what is real anymore. What's he lying about? What's he not lying about?
Literally like the movie.
Exactly. Like, are those your children? Or did you just like happen to like, I don't know, use child actors to like come and meet me?
Wow.
To be clear, are they actors?
That's crazy. Because
to be clear, they are his kids, which
actually
is even worse.
That is
worse.
It is worse. It's crazy because you didn't have any, unless I'm wrong, you didn't have any like inklings or ideas like of, I don't know if I trust him. You were all in, and then just bam, in the like span of 3 hours, you find out.
I shouldn't say that I didn't have
I'm just curious.
There were some red flags now in retrospect that I'm like, I should have dove a lot deeper into that. But when you're in your late 30s and we both have been married, we all are coming with some baggage. Like, you have
to have some grace, right?
You have to have some grace. And if you don't, like, you're not going to have grace for me. And I don't have a perfect story at this point, And so it was just like, I wanted to believe what he was saying to be true. And I didn't have a reason not to believe that.
Got it.
Yes. If I step back 2 years later, I'm like, come on, Kalie, you're better than that. Like, that's a huge, red flag. But in the moment when someone's able to like manipulate and use my like energy against me, like I'm a very positive person and I want to believe the best in people and I wanted this to be true, and like turn it against me. I chose to believe him rather than like doubling down on, no, you're lying, prove it.
Yeah, you're still the victim though. It's not your fault. I'm just
100%.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of point like this could happen to anybody. Like you're a smart woman.
Oh, it's insane. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there are over 60 million Americans on dating apps right now.
Wow.
So
So
many.
what kind of goes back to my original idea was, oh my gosh, we need something to make sure these digital profiles are who they claim to be.
Yeah.
And
Because so
I'm
many
going
of
to
them are
be
bots.
so many are bots. So many people lie about their age or their gender.
Gender, yes.
Yeah, and it's just like we don't need to be doing that. So what started out as like a very dating app adjacent compliment became this like relentless pursuit on diminishing online deception. And that's like over the last 2 years, that's essentially what Fuzzy's
It's
become.
amazing.
I've raised close to $3 million, and yeah, we're full steam ahead on getting this out to the public. It's really important to me to have a free version of Fuzzy, regardless of economic, stature, or
That's amazing.
somebody's in college, they don't want to pay, they can't pay for it. I certainly couldn't when I was in school. I want to make sure that they have access to this tool.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm just
Yeah.
really looking at it from all lenses. I've realized also through this that it's not just men that con. There are a lot of not so great women too, And how do we just provide a baseline for safety? And that's really what I want Fuzzy to become in 2026 and beyond.
Nice.
Earlier, you mentioned that when it's difficult to get someone charged for any of this, like when they are accused or caught of this catfishing, lying, whatever you want to call it. Is there anything in the works that you want to, or can try to get, like a federal backing on if you're caught, like there is a
Repercussion.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So I've actually spent time up in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill. Never did I think that, I was going to be trying to pass a bill or anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
But I've been talking with senators and House of Representatives that do think that this is a huge problem.
Yeah.
There is a member of Congress in Indiana. Her name is Congresswoman Erin Houchin, who actually had her own impersonation online. So somebody did an
wow.
AI video of her talking about political beliefs that are completely contradictory towards her side, and her constituents found out about it and they were like, WTF.
This isn't you, right?
Well, it looked exactly like her. It sounded like her. And but it was just saying things that were completely opposite of what the city or county area was asking for her to go to Washington, D.C. and talk about. And she's like, we didn't even know, we as like her and her team, I spoke with her, like they didn't even know it was happening until somebody sent her the video. And she was like, it was so violating to see like literally what looked to be me saying things that are 180 degrees against what my political beliefs are. So she's helping me. A lot of people realize like what a problem this is. There's a lot of congressional people that understand the effects that online deception is having on our generation alphas and our generation Zs. Primarily, their entire life is online. And how do we make sure that they're safer? Because right now the safeguards that are in place are not enough.
Yeah.
And the sophistication with AI and just the ability to deceive younger kids. I mean, shit, if, I got completely deceived and had no idea what was going on. I can't imagine if this is happening to the younger
15-year-old or
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it even happens to like the elderly. Like my husband, he's in real estate and he had a client a few years back that, she was living without power because her boyfriend lived in several states away and he was he was deployed and he needed something for something. And so she sent like all of her bill money and all of her money to this guy. So then my husband's like, okay, you're like 80 years old. You can't be living in this house in like 100-degree heat right now. And so he paid to have her utilities on, and he's like asking her questions because she just seems like she's not like fully with reality and just in that state. And as she's explaining about her boyfriend and this and that, my husband's like, this isn't adding up. Like, who are you sending money to? And so it got into the situation where had talked about it, and he decided to call the state and say, hey, like, there's this elderly lady. She doesn't have any support, any family, nothing. Very positive. She's being scammed, and I'm about to sell her house. Like, we're contracted to sell, and I'm just really worried that she's going to get all this money and send it to this man that isn't really her boyfriend, and then she's gonna be really screwed. And the government, like, yeah, they went to go visit her, but they, one, didn't have proof that that was happening, and two, they didn't, for whatever reason, even properly evaluate her to make sure that she was in her right state of mind. And so it's like, it's so many things that are just going against helping to have a safe life.
Yeah, it's so prevalent, and elderly military audiences are very heavily targeted for online deception. People claiming to be either a police officer, firefighter in the military. These are like kind of, there are trends that these scammers have. So one of the things that I'm trying to do with Fuzzy also is like be a place of truth. So what are things to look out for in terms of, am I being scammed? What questions should I be asking to make sure that this is a real transaction, or this money is going to a real veteran that needs it, et cetera. We all kind of ended up on that national, you didn't pay your toll tag invoice over the summer. Like, that was a national scam we were all getting, right? So like, I want to be a place where people can be like, oh, no, it's happening to other people too. And it's really unfortunate. The audiences that scammers take advantage of are, they don't know that they're being scammed. First of all, it's really hard.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, they don't know to even think about the fact that this person's not in the military, because they grew up in a generation where if you claim that you were in the military, you were 100% serving our country. And now people are just saying that so they can get money out of everybody. Yeah. So it's really tough to see. There's a lot of awareness and education that needs to happen. And it's sad.
So I can see how, because my question is, how can you get Fuzzy into the hands? And now I know of course, the answer is like marketing correctly, but sometimes you need to get it into the hands of people who, like you just now said, don't even know they need it. So like, what if you have someone in your life, like my grandmother, maybe, how can do I introduce Fuzzy to her? Like, how does it work where I could help somebody that's not necessarily myself?
I love that you asked that, and I promise this is not a Tia. But so my Nana's 92, okay?
Yeah.
So in May, I was thinking about the same thing. It's like, I want to see if I could teach Nana how to use Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Or is it like so foreign that she'd be like, no, Kalie, take your cell phone.
Yeah.
Right? So she has an iPhone, but she only really knows how to go to her favorites and call somebody. So I knew that she was like a very novice iPhone user. And I'm like, Grandma, this is how you use Fuzzy. This is how you would verify yourself. And we went through the process, and she's like, I'm taking a selfie. She was very excited about that. And then I helped her take her picture of her government issued ID. So she's Fuzzy verified. Nana's Fuzzy verified, part of the community. And then with that, she can look up other people. So I told her, if random, Jeremy Smith calls you, ask for their Fuzzy badge. And if you don't see that listed, that is not a real person. Ask them to verify themselves, because it's a very easy process. All you do is go in, you take about 4 selfies, you marry that with your government issued ID. It takes about 30 seconds to become Fuzzy verified. It's not difficult, and it's free of charge. So what I'm kind of leading with is like, this is the new green flag, right? And for those that are like, nah, I don't want to do that. That's not for me. That is the biggest red flag moving forward, because you are asking now someone to make you feel safer. And it's very easy to do that and join a genuine, authentic community where I feel safer in your presence, and I'm willing to do the same for you. And those that are saying like, no, I don't want to do that. That is a giant red flag. The answer, the question immediately should be, well, why not? What aren't you willing to expose or be transparent about? We are in no way saying that my Nana lives at 123. This is her street address. That is completely unsafe for Nana, right? So we're doing it in a way that is, what I call the fuzzy badge. I am myself online. I'm Kalie Nitzsche. This is my Instagram. This is my TikTok. This is my LinkedIn. These are my authorized channels. I also am a part of this church community and whatever else that I want to claim to be, in my authenticated channels.
Okay.
Once I'm fuzzy verified, we give you your own unique QR code that regenerates every 90 seconds. So nobody can steal my offline authentic self. So when I go somewhere in the future, I can send people my fuzzy badge and they will know that that is me when I show up. So I'm meeting somebody new for a drink that I met on the apps. And not on the apps, but if I was on the apps, this is what I would have been doing. I'm going to ask that Comcast start sending people to my home and they send me their quick fuzzy badge. At least it's just a quick, and this is what what we keep saying on my team. It's a digital gut check. It's a digital gut check that we're all in a safer position. And then it's really rounding out my full self, right? So you've got my online channels. I'm the same person online as I am in offline. My QR code is, the bridge to my offline self, but I'm the same person. And anybody that's unwilling to do that, there's a disconnect between their online and offline self. And that's where things get really scary.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a little quick, easy script for people who might feel like I'm a little bit nervous? People who are afraid of coming across aggressive or as a bitch by just asking, do you have
So that is such a great question. And that's like something we've talked about it. So what literally one of the taglines for Fuzzy is make safety cool. If you're a decent guy on the dating apps and you want to leg up, go fuzzy verify yourself. Because I want to be swipe. And I say this as though I'm on the app still, but I'm not. I'm putting myself in Kalie 2 years ago app formation. I'm swiping the guys that have a fuzzy badge. So what we are working towards is making your fuzzy badge or a watermark in your digital profile picture. So it doesn't matter if you look at my LinkedIn or my Instagram picture. At the bottom, we're going to be able to embed my fuzzy badge into the lower right corner, which is going to get rid of a lot of fraud. Because if you start thinking about AI bots and the fact that, my God, there's going to be, we're coming into a world where literally resumes and people, trying to get jobs are fake people. FAFSA money is getting frauded because people are claiming that they're college kids. That kid doesn't even go to college. It's just kind of wild the extent that this goes. And it all comes back to, is this person who they say they are?
Yeah.
And if there's an easy way to identify that, I think it's going to mitigate so much of like the top line fraud. I always think of online deception like a sales funnel. Unfortunately, Fuzzy's not going to be able to catch every single scammer. It's just not going to happen. But if I can put up some sort of a dam, I'm going to be able to catch a lot more than what's happening now. Because right now it's like a free-for-all of water that's just taking out people financially. There's a lot of violence that's happening offline, specifically to the LGBTQ community, which is just disgusting and terrible. There's, obviously what happened to me, like the emotional and mental aspect of this. And it's kind of like, wow, like this was a really terrible situation. So fraud happens in all different kinds of ways, and it's happening across genders and ages and and it's just a big problem. But if we get to the root cause of, are you who you say you are? I am who I say I am. Here's my fuzzy badge to prove it. That's going to help mitigate a lot of scams moving forward.
Neat.
How yours Fuzzy clearly is very in depth, and Meta also has like their badge. So like, how does it differ, Fuzzy versus like a Meta badge?
Sure. So a Meta badge and a LinkedIn badge are essentially the same thing. It's nothing. It literally means you have a credit card and you paid money to get a check mark.
Okay.
You didn't do anything to verify yourself. You could actually be someone else and get a check mark just by paying money. So if you're a scammer with money, of course you're going to go get the check mark. Why wouldn't you do that? Because that makes you look more relevant, or that
Well, that's useless. That's just a way for the brand to make money.
Just a way for the brand to make money. It doesn't mean anything. It means that they had a credit card. And I think to get Facebook verified alone is like $29. which is just astronomical because I know like the hard cost, what it takes on my end to get people verified. It's a racket.
Yeah.
What I am hoping is that, and Mark Zuckerberg, this is for you, Meta executives, listen up, is that with my fuzzy watchdog technology, with the alerting and monitoring of one's misuse or impersonation of our name, image, and likeness, we can start working really closely with the Meta so that the takedown of a fake profile is almost instantaneous. So
yeah.
I'm working with these really large celebrity agencies. I'm working with Major League Baseball, specifically with the Boris agency. So protecting a lot of MLBers. We have influencers, politicians on our pilot, all these really kind of high VIP people so that I can start to make a case for why Fuzzy is deserving of a partnership with a Meta to be like, oh, Fuzzy sent these 200 profiles over as fakes. We know that they're reputable. We're going to go ahead and get them taken down immediately. So that's what I'm hoping that this becomes and I'm working towards. Because right now, you literally, if you needed to get something taken down, if somebody went to go pull up a Facebook of me and put it on Facebook and AI video this, and I go into a ticket queue and I hope that somebody along the way sees it,
Yeah.
And that's very damaging to my brand reputation because some things that those AI bots are saying or claiming to be true are completely against who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Okay. Devil's advocate. Couldn't anybody just say, okay, to get Fuzzy verified, I need to show my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, this page. But you're saying it's more than that. On your end, you're having to do background check stuff.
So it's not a background check.
Okay.
It's a digital gut check. Background checks take several weeks and are very expensive.
Okay.
Mine is almost instantaneous and is free.
Okay.
What we are doing is the very first step is verifying someone's identity.
Okay.
So I have to go in and I have patented what's called ADD, Automated Deception Discovery, which is built into both the Fuzzy application and Fuzzy Watchdog. ADD, a part of that is our facial recognition technology. And so I take 4 or 5 different selfies, kind of like
your thumb at different angles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Profile view, different, kind of a 360. And
Gotcha.
then I upload a government issued ID with my name on it, my birthday. Obviously this is who I am. And on the back end, we're working with Plaid, who is a very large identity verification solution. The military uses them. So do over 7,000 financial institutions. So we're working with them on the back end to do the match on the identity. And in about half a minute or so, we'll either say, yep, you're invited to be a part of the Fuzzy community, or we won't.
Awesome. Awesome.
What I'm working towards now is okay, you're a verified person, but we also find out that you're a registered sex offender. How do we make that work? Well, as long as someone is willing to put that in their profile, and remember, I'm just in the business of giving information. We're not in the business of saying
judging.
We're not a judge. We're not. Yeah. I'm not the judge. I'm not the. That is for the man up above to do, or an actual judge, right? We are in the business of giving information. If you are willing to be transparent and have visibility around this is you and this is what you've done, you are also Fuzzy verified.
That's why it goes back to what you said. If they're not willing to make the world a better place and get verified, then why trust?
Exactly. Moving forward, I hope it's everything. So, right, my kid's new basketball coach, I quickly look them up and they have a Fuzzy badge. I feel a little bit better knowing that I'm dropping my kid off for an hour with some stranger, but at least we're a part of this community, right?
Yes.
And it acts as a part of accountability. If people scan your QR badge or look you up, that's a digital stamp that you were doing that exact thing. So if I went to go scan the new basketball coach, we'll just use this as an example, it's QR, that's a timestamp in our history at Fuzzy that person is, remember, we know who they are, that they were actually accountable in that location and that they were where they said that they were going to be. So then now we're talking about small businesses, right? 1099 employees, the root cause of a lot of these scams is identity, and we're not doing a good enough job of looking at identity from a human perspective. We look at identity from oh, I don't want my credit card information taken, which, by the way, I don't want that.
Of course.
But it doesn't protecting my credit card doesn't protect me from not getting my online identity tampered with. You need
And
something
used.
more. And we need to be thinking about identity almost in a different way when we're thinking about it online to offline.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, sure
That's
thing.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's certainly been a labor of love, a lot of tears, a lot of big, huge wins. And honestly, we're just scratching the surface. So it's exciting to see where this is going.
That's actually, Sam, I don't know, but that's how, if you felt the same, but that's watching you and listening to you talk about this. I'm like, man, you're all in. You just started in March and you've already got all of this, like, well, wait, what was March? What'd you do
I
in
left
March?
Adobe in March.
That's what it was.
I
You
started,
started a long time ago.
yeah, I started the company. So my company's name is Save Her Incorporated. And this kind of goes back to kind of the research that I started to really do when I was diving in. I realized this isn't just a woman only thing, right?
Yeah.
It started out as very intentional for women on dating apps, and it has since become something so much bigger. So going back to why fuzzy, I wanted something that was non-gender specific, that was non-emotionally charged in any way. It was just kind of a binary word that needed a little bit more information, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I just see like you're all in, you've put so much into this, you've already come so far. And like, yeah, I can see how you've barely scratched the surface. Like you've got so far you can go with this. This is amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. The horizon is it looks very positive, and there's a ton of opportunity here, and it's so awesome. Financially, there's a ton of opportunity, but I also get to help people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is really freaking cool.
Yeah, it is.
My professional life is giving my personal life so much meaning in a way that I hadn't experienced before.
I love that.
We're literally catching fraud. We just found fraud last week with one of our influencers. There's an agency out there that's claiming that they rep him, and he's on their website. There's like a whole bio about him. Well, Watchdog found it.
Wow.
And he was like, oh my gosh, like what? And this guy has like 250,000 followers. And like this company out there is like frauding that they rep him.
That's
and so
crazy.
If we can just get rid of some of this nonsense and provide a safer way online for connecting and interacting, like that's really what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. And it helps the good people win. Like, because like
the new green flag.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
You made all of this happen for yourself. What tips do you have to help people move forward just like you did?
Yeah, I had to really take on a step back after what happened with me with he shall not be named. And say like, I need, yes, I'm a victim and this sucks. And this isn't about him. This is about me. But there's also other things that I could be doing in my life to better my own self. And I really have changed like my algorithms on my social media. Like I was just mindlessly scrolling and I was like kind of getting sucked into that whole environment. And I've since really focused on being more intentional with being present with my kid. And if you go to my social media, I'm like a walking, like positive affirmation, statement. I like wear clothing that like says it. It's just my whole aspect of life is I do manifesting in the morning. Like I'm journaling. I'm really trying to live like the most authentic life that I can. I also think that comes with getting a little older. Like in 2 years, I'm going to be in my 40s, which is just, I can't really wrap my head around, but every day is just so important. And that's a lot of why I also left corporate America. I just didn't have that deep desire that I wanted to help people. I really just wanted to get something in the hands of everybody to make it a little bit safer. And I had this idea. And so it was a culmination of everything. But at the end of the day, and I've been asked this before, going back to your original question, just keep going. Like literally they're the 3 simplest words, but there were times where I was like ready to give up because one, it's really hard not to get a paycheck for some time.
Yeah.
It's hard to be told no by 185 investors. That's how many people told me no. And I just kept going and I kept going. And I just, again, kept going. And finally somebody believed in me and was like, this is freaking smart. And now the tailwind has just completely changed. All of the trends are talking about how, P&E dollars and investors AI was the hot topic up until probably September, but now they're realizing that like AI only companies aren't generating the types of outcomes that they thought that they would. And so like I have this company that is driven by humans, powered by AI to catch deception, which is literally going to be one of the largest problems ever. I'm so far ahead of the game in terms of like what we saw, what we thought was going to happen, and providing a service or a tool to combat some of that. So just keep going.
Wow.
That is so simple and it sounds so hard.
It's like so trite, right? It's like, yeah, okay, that's easy for you to say. And it was not easy for me to do.
Yeah.
This summer was rough.
Yeah. But that's the opposite of trite, right? Like it sounds like it, but it's so much.
I know. It's so much. Those 3 words are literally, every day I'm like, okay, just keep going. I can do it.
I've loved getting to meet you and speak with you and learn from you.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Did you like the episode that you heard today? Great. Share it with a friend and don't forget to rate and review.